Welcome back everyone to Top of the Rock channel. Today we are starting a new series called DIY with Top of the Rock. Today for our first project and video, we will be building a wood ramp for about $20 to $40 depending on what kind of wood you get. So what you're going to need is a drill. You're going to need some screws about the right length. I got about 6x2 screws, maybe a little bit smaller. You can just look at the hardware store. You'll need a tape measure. You'll need a saw. And then you will need a jigsaw to get that nice fine curve. You cannot use a saw to cut the curve on a ramp. It's too flat. So on the materials, you'll need 2x4 3/8 plywood. This will be probably the takeoff. And for the side walls, you will need 2x4 1/2-inch plywood. And for all the braces, you'll need, I got 2x3s right here, but you can get pretty much whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, but not too skinny or too big. So let's get started. First, we're going to start getting our measurements. I already have it lined up here to make sure we have all the right stuff, but I'm gonna go over it with you guys. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your tape measure, go all the way to 40 inches, and then with a pencil, you'll mark it right here at 40 inches, but you also want extra 8 inches of overhang. And for the height of the ramp, you're gonna want about 18 inches, and so that you have enough space to build an extra side, because this will be this side right here, and then we'll use the other side of the wood, or the rest of the wood, to build the other side. And then so you're gonna get some screws and some kind of bendy piece. Some people use PVC or some bendy wood. I just got this plastic piece right here that bends pretty easy. You're gonna wanna take it and then put screws around it to put it in place. And then you're gonna wanna find your curve, and you're gonna put a screw in the middle once you have the right curve that you want. As you can see, I have my line here, and I have my right curve. And then for the overhang, we're gonna take a straight edge and just go from the top of the ramp and go all the way to this back corner right here to have that nice, like cheese, like a little triangle, so that when you hit your ramp, you don't go this way and the ramp doesn't kind of like fall forward. So now let's get to cutting. Okay, so now we have our sidewall plywood, and we put some wood under it so that the blade of the jigsaw does not go and hit the bottom of the table or whatever you're working on. So now we have free range to cut and move it. So make sure you're wearing eye protection, and let's get started. Okay, so now we have our piece, and maybe a little jagged edges right here, but that's to sand down and make perfect later. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece, flip it around over here, and line it up so everything is straight And then you want to take your pencil and you want to mark where this one is. Okay, so now we have our next one laid all out for us. So now let's get cutting. Okay, so now we're gonna sand it all down, make it a lot flatter, and match it as much as we can. Now that we have to make the braces, we have to measure it so that each brace matches up. So if we're gonna put the main plywood on top, these have to go inside so they're covering up. So we have to take these, measure them together because they're gonna be on both sides. And since they were 1/2 inch, we're gonna guesstimate they're 1 inch, but just to double check here, we have 1 inch. So now, we're gonna take the width of your board, which is 24 or 2 feet. You're gonna take that, 24 inches, minus it by 1, so you have 23. So each cut that you're gonna make on this big board is gonna have to be 23 inches so that you have a nice fitting braces. Just make sure that's 23 inches real quick. Exactly 23. Okay, now that I have 8 23 braces, 23-inch braces, you have to get a screw, take this and this, and line it up so it's flat with this one. And then you take your screw, make it flat, take your screw, you go in. Now that the screw's in, you can pretty much adjust it. Okay, now we want to get the other one. This is tricky because we have to run a flip. Probably just want to grab that one. Just flip this around. And then we're gonna do the other side. They're almost even, but good enough to shoot this ramp. So then we just put 7 of these all the way to the top, and then we're just gonna put one back here, just down right here. We'll probably do this right now, just to make sure that it's sturdy and in place. And we will get back to you guys. Re-drilling your holes is a lot easier because the screw doesn't like to wiggle out or get all loose, so you keep dropping it. So just get a bit about this small, a little bit smaller than your screws, just to get at least your screws started. So as you can see, we put 2 screws in every one of them so that it keeps it so it doesn't move forward and backward. And so before you put on the last piece of wood to finish off, make sure you mark where every strut is, even though there's screws to know, just mark it so it makes it a lot easier for yourself, so that you know where you're drilling into. Okay, now let's put this down here and we will put down the last piece of wood. Now, what you want to do first, for you want to put the top plywood on, you want to line up on both sides, line up on the front, and then you want to put 2 screws in. So you want to use your knees to bend it a little bit, It's gonna creak. Now we're gonna put the screw in. Yeah, we'll put them down farther, a little lighter. But we're just gonna keep doing this until we get to the bottom. Okay, so now that I have all of my screws screwed in, so depending on the angle you have, will determine how much excess you have. You wanna have a little excess in the end, like I have here, but like here you do not want that much. So we're gonna cut it off. But if you have like a really steep angle, say you want like a 45-degree jump, it's gonna launch you, but you won't have as much excess as I do. So we're gonna cut this off and it'll be ready to jump the RC, or maybe I could jump the mountain bike with it. Now that you cut it, you just wanna sand and get rid of all the really hard edges and make them all smooth and get rid of all this sawdust. And now we are ready. Okay, so I buried the jump over there because the jump's a little too tall for me. But I buried it in a little bit, so maybe I can hit it and hit the backside. I've never jumped anything this high before, so let's commit. Okay. Let's try it. Okay, so now that we did it with the bike, we're gonna hit the jump with the RC car. Oh! Double check that, and we're good. Okay, we're still good. I'm actually surprised. I've scraped up the chassis. If you see here, it's all scratched up, but no broken arms. The only thing that's giving me trouble once is the eyelet, and my servo literally just pooped out earlier, but then it just came back. I'm pretty sure it's the servo saver. Wow, it unplugged again. I need to figure out a way to not let that happen. This will be the last jump for today. Well, it unplugged for us. Who knew? Yay! Well, I will see you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And comment down below if you guys want to see more DIY stuff. See you guys next time, and have a good day.